Make a date with Reverend Dr. Ebenezer Markwei at 6 a.m. from Monday to Saturday on Graphic Online via Facebook and YouTube as he expounds on matters of faith. Graphic Online, truth and accuracy every day.
Hello, this is Reverend Dr. Ebenezer Markwei of Living Streams International. I bring you matters of faith with Graphic Online. And this morning I am still on the 3 R's. That is relationship, responsibility, and rewards. We have just established the fact that God wanted a relationship with Abraham. And out of that relationship with Abraham, he said, there are certain responsibilities I want you to adhere to. I want you to take notice of. I want you to work in these responsibilities. It is not just a loose, casual thing, but this one is bound by covenant. It is an agreement between you and I. And then one of the things that God said, like I taught the other time, he said, walk before me. And I said, God said, travel with me and behave yourself. Now there's another thing that God said. Now that got me a little bit scared. Because I asked God, who fit this map? Or who fit this directive? Who can? And God said to Abraham, I want you to walk perfect before me. Oh, wait, don't get scared. I've already been scared. And I've dealt with this. So, yeah, let me make you a little bit uncomfortable. God said, walk perfect before me. Who on earth can walk perfect before God? Do you think that, the things you think is perfect. The things you think, the things we do, you think it is perfect. Who on earth? Who on earth is can walk perfect before God? My goodness. Even in the book of Genesis, there was one man who was described and he walked perfect before God. That man was Noah. But even before that writing that, and Noah walked perfect before God, the Bible says, and Noah found grace in the sight of God, and Noah walked perfect. So it was grace that enabled Noah to walk perfect. So which man on this earth is going to be perfect? Which man? But God demanded it from Abraham. I have an agreement with you. There's a responsibility to this agreement. There's a responsibility to this relationship. Walk perfect before me. So now I'm sitting down and I say, okay, God, I lose this one. I don't think I'm not going to fit. But one of the things that he said, when I checked the Hebrew, it just said, walk with me in integrity. God said, walk with me with integrity. Oh, wow. Now that changes the ball game. Because integrity is a choice. Perfection is beyond human frailties. I can't be perfect. Neither can you. Well, maybe you. I'm even sure what you're thinking right now doesn't make you look perfect. Or what you're flipping through your phone now doesn't make you perfect. That thing which is making you smile, it doesn't make you perfect. But guess what? God said, no, not what you're thinking of. I want you to walk with me with integrity. And so I checked the dictionary definition of integrity. It said, an adherence to moral and ethical principles. So God said, walk with me with principles. Be principled. Be principled. When he said be perfect, he said be principled. Principles are principles. Principles are born out of conviction. And there's a difference between conviction and convenience. In actual fact, the difference between Jacob and Esau was running after his convenience. He said, I'm hungry. What is a birthright to me? But Jacob had conviction. This birthright can change my life. This birthright can change my situation. It can place me on the ladder of blessing. It can place me on the ladder of relationship with God. See, I am dating back to what said to my grandfather, Abraham. I want to tap into that blessing. And the only way I can tap into that blessing is by getting into that birthright. So whereas Jacob had conviction, Esau was working with convenience. So when God said, walk with me with integrity, he said, you must have ethical principles. Ethical principles. I'm a pastor. I go around and I preach. And I preach in different places. And sometimes when you preach, there are some small blessings that come your way. Or there are some blessings that come your way. And I remember going to a place to preach. And when I finished preaching, there was a lady that when I was preaching, I ministered to. And I was speaking in my sermon. I got to a particular junction in my sermon. And I stopped before her, smiled at her, placed my hand on her shoulder. And everything I was saying, she said it was prophetically for her. This woman burst out in tears and she was crying like a baby. And after we finished, that woman, you know, the armor bearer who was assigned to me, you know, was holding my Bible. And I realized that armor bearer, she asked for my Bible. I don't know what happened, but she placed something in it. And it was an envelope. And then we went into the room for me to go and change. And once I went to change, I took my Bible there because I saw an envelope popping out. And, you know, I have to check to see how far. I mean, how far. Counting my ticket cost and all those other things. When I opened the envelope, oh my God, my goodness. Wow. And it was a check for me, meant for me. Now I stood there quietly in the room and quickly closed the Bible. Let nobody know anything. Just go out quietly. And that will be it. Nobody knows. But you know what I did? I got to the place after I changed. The pastor and his wife and armor bearers were all sitting down. They were chatting. And I pulled out the envelope and I walked straight to him and I said, listen, this woman put this envelope in my understanding. I just want to give it to you. And you decide what you want to do with it. Immediately I handed the envelope to him. He looked around, his wife, and then this is what he said. I told you that Ebenezer would give me this envelope. He would show me the envelope. I was quiet. He said, and the wife said, yeah. He said, I told you, I know him. He is principled enough that he's not going to sneak it away. Like he's pulled the fast one. He's not going to look at this as an opportunity. No. He's going to tell me. Because we've just finished raising funds for the church. And he doesn't know. So I said to him, I guess this is for the fundraising, so you get. Then he looked at me and said, told his wife, and I told you that he would tell me about it. Then he said, you know what, Pastor Ebenezer, you've proven to everybody, I made a boast about you. I know that you're ethical. I know that you're principled. So you know what? Keep this envelope, and I'll give you another envelope. I started singing Hosanna. Because, man, principle. God said, I want you to walk in integrity. Be principled. Walk with me by ethical principles. And there's another thing too that is this thing. It's not just principles. Sound moral character. He said, Abraham, there's something I want to do with you. There are rewards I want to bring to you. And if you read, he said, I am Almighty God, define the relationship with him. And then he said, I want you to do this and do this and do this. Then the subsequent ones, he began to talk about the rewards. Hey, wait a minute. Walk with the responsibility. And one of the responsibility of him is, I want you to walk with me by principle. Don't just be loose. Stand by your principles. Principles are sometimes very hard. And a man or woman whose principles sometimes is considered a difficult person and is considered, something unbending or not. No. Principle. You know, walk by the principle. He said, and have sound moral character. He said, I don't want you just to be a loose person. And one of the things that he also said that means be perfect, that work with me with integrity and ethical principles and sound moral character. The next one is honesty. God said to Abraham, don't clutter our relationship with lies. Don't lie to me. Be honest with me. Be transparent with me. Say, God, this is where I am. If I did it, I did it. Walk with me with honesty. Don't hide anything. David said, if I hide my sin, if I regard, you could tell me, you won't hear me. I won't hide it. I'll be plain. God said, you want to walk with me? Then walk with me with honesty. You see, the problem of Cain, when he killed Abel, when God said to Abel, Cain, where is Abel your brother? He said, am I my brother's keeper? Goodness me, you know where you put him. But you are saying, am I my brother's keeper? Never attempt to be dishonest with God. That's one of the things. I prefer to be honest with God. I prefer to be honest and lay everything bare. He knows me. He knows my heart. He knows everything. Even before I breathe, he knows it. When a hair falls from my head onto the floor, he knows the quantity that is left there, the quantity that's lying down. He knows it. God said to him, walk with me with honesty. A walk with God that seeks to fuss or that, you see, you don't like people who are dishonest with you. The reason why you don't want to walk with somebody who is very dishonest with you is because you can't trust the person. You can't trust the person. If the person says A, you don't know whether it's Z. So God said, you want to walk with me, be honest. Yes, God, I did it. And I'm telling you, I'm a pastor. I like honest people around me. I don't like dishonesty. Because dishonesty sows a seed of mistrust. And so now when you're talking, I don't even know what to believe. Dishonesty sows a seed of mistrust. So God said to Abraham, be honest with me. I want you to walk in integrity with me. I want you to walk with sound moral principles. I want you to walk with ethics. I want you to walk ethically with me. Be principled when you're walking with me. That's what God said. When God asked Abraham, sacrifice your son, if Abraham didn't want to say, God, I'm not going to do it. I want you to tell me I don't want to do it. And I'm not going to do it. But if you say you're going to do it, then you lift up the knife and try to bring the knife down, then I'll stop you. Be principled. Let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. God said to Abraham, walk honestly with me. Relationships that are bordered on honesty are trustworthy relationships. Relationships that are bordered on dishonesty are always relationships of mistrust and second guessing. And the seeds of mistrust, and we'll sow seeds of mistrust and all those other things. Finally, those relationships don't last. Be honest with me. That's what God said. I demand honesty. I try to be honest with the people that I work with. Honesty. Be honest. Because your honesty is going to prolong the relationship. It's going to preserve the relationship. Dishonesty is going to create vacuums and clouds of doubt. And there's also seeds of mistrust and suspicion. And in the end, the relationship will pay a price. You want to walk with God? And you want to walk with men? You want to walk with them in covenant, in agreement? There's something in business we call a total declaration. That is, when you're going to do business with somebody, you need to full declaration. If you owe money, you're going to do business with him, tell the person I owe money. Full declaration, full disclosure. That's what they call it. Because if not, and then along the journey, something happens, they're going to hold you. And court is going to hold you that you didn't give full disclosure. You know, one of the things that once your dishonesty is discovered, you have created a garment or a cloak of suspicion all around you. Whatever you say, even if you're speaking the truth, will be weighed against your dishonesty. God said to Abraham, be honest with me. See you later.